I am functional medicine practitioner Claudine Francois. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing solutions for health on my show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello, and thank you so much for being here on Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Today's show topic is how to release post-traumatic energy for renewed health with body code practitioner Lona De Rieux, or Lona De Rieux if you know her in the States. And be sure to stick around until the end of the show because today's guest has a very special gift for our community. Now, as many of you know, I am a functional medicine practitioner, and if you're experiencing health issues and finding no answers despite numerous tests, I am here to help. Women have been gaining invaluable insights through the free lab review sessions I am currently providing for a limited time. So let's decode those lab results together and empower you to take meaningful action. And you can access the link in the scroll or find it in the comments below because we want your journey to better health to start now. Okay, so let's get to today's show. Today's guest, as I mentioned, is Lona De Rieux. Lona is a wellness advocate, energy worker, and a certified body code practitioner who specializes in a revolutionary energy balancing system. Lona has a unique approach to the use of essential oils by identifying the most effective oils for each client using muscle testing. So let us bring her up. Lona, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Claudine. I'm so excited to be here with you. I love your work.
Likewise, I am so excited to have you. And I'm going to start by asking you the first thing I ask all of my guests, which is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
Well, a healthy, delicious lifestyle to me means that if life hits me hard, sometimes as it does, that I'm able to make myself feel well quickly.
That is so important, right? Because how many of us feel like we're getting sick? We know we don't have time for it, but the ability to pull yourself back from that, to have the tools to not get sick, to not be down and out of commission, that is absolutely amazing. That's awesome. And I can't wait to talk about what some of those tools are that you have. So I want to get to your first tip, which is first, be aware of your thoughts daily so that you can shift them in a positive way. So tell us what you mean by that.
Well, I don't know if people really realize how powerful our emotions are. When we're stuck in the past, when we're feeling fear, all of these things are so detrimental to our health. It's such a powerful, powerful way. So, yes, we may have a lot of trapped emotion, which we're going to go into later with emotion and body code. But going forward, why bring more on? So just bring an awareness to your thoughts and then make that shift so that it doesn't destruct you later on.
That is such a good point. First, be aware of your thoughts. I mean, a lot of us are not even at that point where we are aware of what we're thinking. We just have these patterns and these loops that we find ourselves in. So I love what you're saying. First, notice them.
Yes. Notice
Oh,
them and then know that you can shift them.
And that's hard for me sometimes. If I'm really mad, how do you shift? How do you get out of mad?
I know it is, but you say, I'm mad. Why am I mad? Okay, so if I'm mad, then there has to be something underneath it. Is it something from the past? Because usually women don't blow up because of one incident. At least this is my personal experience. It's the accumulation. At the time when that would happen to me, I wouldn't know, but I can still find myself going back. So it's just stop. Right? Unless you
Yeah.
want the results that are not going to be positive.
That is a really good point. And so I want to dive into your next tip, which is, as energetic beings, we have a powerful way to support our wellness journeys with muscle testing. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people who have no idea what this is. Can you give a quick synopsis? What does that even mean?
Well, energy we're energy. Everything is energy. So when you're testing energy in a person, you're testing the strength of the muscle. So a lot of chiropractors, a lot of European doctors use it, and there are a lot of people that do use it. Usually any energy worker uses muscle testing. So you can do it in multiple ways. You can do it like a new way I'm learning is yes, no, yes, no. It's just it flips when it's a no or yes, no. That's the first way I learned. Yes, no. You can do a sway test. But the reason why it's so critical and important is that we're not all the same. So if we're not all the same, then everything isn't going to work. What works for me may not work for you. So when you use muscle testing, you're tapping into your subconscious mind, and it is giving you the answers that are most beneficial for you.
That's so good. And
Yeah.
let's just use an example. So people are like, what does this mean from a practical perspective? And I will just say that you were kind enough to send me your labs last week, and we did a lab review for you, right?
Yes.
And I pointed out certain things. And one of the issues that you said that you were struggling with was hot flashes, which is really common for those of us who are over 40, right? Hot flashes can be common. I don't necessarily, they shouldn't be normal, right? But they are definitely common. And
Yes.
one of the things I mentioned was boron. Boron is a supplement that we use to add to a personalized blend for you that can
Mhm.
help with hot flashes. There's a specific amount that's really good for women who are having that symptom. And you did a muscle test. You're like, do I need boron? You were asking your body,
Yes.
does it need boron? And I can't remember what number you were at. You got
I
to like an
said, well,
8.
I said on a scale from 1 to 10, how much does my body need boron? And it was a 10.
Oh, it was a 10. Okay. Yeah.
It was
So
a
you're
10.
So I love that synergy because from the physical lab testing that we're doing, we can see like all these different things that are needed, and you're confirming with your body, okay, is this something that I really need, and how badly do I need it, so that you are feeling comfortable. And for somebody who doesn't necessarily have access to the lab work, they can potentially help if they're having like neck tension, for example, or muscle aches or pains, or what other things do you see that people can use muscle testing for?
Oh my goodness, I use it for everything. So if you have some head tension, you can pinpoint, because there's a lot of different reasons why. It could be inflammation. It could be, and because like essential oils are energy based, right? You have to pinpoint what that emotion and that energy is to use the right oil in order to help you get through it. Even with a lot of people that are under the weather, I won't mention the names of those in compliance speaking, but read through the lines, that and when you're have a little bugs or germs or whatever that's causing you to feel under the weather, you can pinpoint which ones are going to help you to get well faster.
And I'll just use the example that, every once in a while I'll message you and be like, Lana, I have another tension headache. I wasn't taking care of myself like I was supposed to be. I was working too hard. Or, I also have, and I haven't shared this publicly yet, but I also found out recently I have mold toxicity, which is like the underlying problem, right? Like my body's already having an underlying stressor. But in the moment, I can't fix mold in a day. It's going to take me 6 days. In the moment, I'm like, I just need you to help me with my headache, Lana. So I feel like we have a great synergy in that there's the,
Yeah.
how do we fix the underlying cause, the root cause, as well as how do you help with these symptoms that are popping up as people are trying to heal. I love it. All right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So your next tip, so good. And we didn't even mention the body code book, which I'll link this in
Yes.
the comments, but this is where you learned, well, this and probably the course, right? Is how you learned about how to do muscle testing. So that is a really great guide. I actually texted this to a friend of mine because she's an engineer and she loves this whole like energy section,
Mm-hmm.
because she sees from an engineering, engineers deal with energy all the time,
Yeah.
kinetic energy, all the sciencey words for energy, like that's what she deals with. But it is also true in here. So I just wanted to say that. Okay. So the next share is set trapped energies free to find relief and clarity. And I want to get your take on this, because one thing I've noticed when we do hair tissue mineral analyses for people, there's one particular marker. When people have high calcium, it is a stress response, and it's often at certain levels, it's a trauma response. And when people have that level of trauma response, I tell them we need to find some way to release the trauma. And that way, I had one of the easiest, best ways I found is the emotion code, which I know you are also certified in. So tell us how we release trapped energy to move forward.
Well, what I would do is I would just say, okay, you have a calcium block. What did you call it? A
Calcium shell.
calcium shell. You have a calcium shell. So I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, how serious is it? And then in using the body code, because then I know what physically I'm going to need to do too, because oils aren't the only answer. We also have to take care of our bodies with correct nutrition and all that. But then I would go and say, what are the trapped emotions, you can do it two different ways. If it was emotion code, then you would just say, what are the trapped emotions that are associated with this calcium shell? Then the other way, if it was body code, then I would just take it and say, what are the underlying causes, or what's causing this, the associated imbalances in the body that are causing it. It will still end up going to the emotion code, but it's a lot more detailed because it really goes into the story of what it is. For example, it would say you have an imbalance in your chakras, or your an organ, or a disconnection, or it could be anything. There's like over 1,000 possibilities.
Well, and as an example, because you kindly did an emotion code session for me, because I will feel every once in a while, I'll feel like I'm getting in my own way, like I'm stuck. Right?
Yes.
There's something holding me back. I'm like, what is my problem? Because I'm like, I want to move forward all the time, right? And so I called her, I was like, Lona, can you please do an emotion code session for me? And you did. And you were like, there are all these emotions that are popping up from your childhood, maybe even from that were inherited from past generations. You know, people have heard of generational trauma. Those can definitely be passed down. And so by helping us release them, we're then basically, it's kind of like you're shedding the layers that are holding you back. Right. It's almost like I was wearing a, what's that thing that the armor that the knights would wear. And I'm just starting to shed pieces of the armor so I feel lighter and I can like run instead of just like slogging through. Right.
Like the peeling of an onion. I call it. It's like the layers.
I love it. All right. So let's talk about essential oils, because I am a fan. I know you have your own box. I have my lovely box of essential oils here, and I use them for different things. And personally, there's your box. Oh, yours is so good. And actually, you kindly linked to a box for me here. I'm going to show it in the screen. So you linked to this box, which is great. And I have even these bottles that you mentioned, 2 little spray. I want you to tell me what you do with those. Personally, I love using different oils depending on where I am in my cycle. I find that certain oils are really healing and helpful when I'm in different stages, because we all know there's different stages. You need more help than others.
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of experimenting and a lot of fun. So you can use essential oils as they are. But again, if you have the power of muscle testing, you can make your own blends. So I have my little wellness book. And so for hair loss or liver, I've had to work on my liver, different things like that. I'll muscle test the amount of drops I need. First, I'll test for the oils, then I'll test for the amount of drops. And I test it by the size of the bottle. And then I'll just make up my own blend and I can spray it. And there's a great one, aseptic, that you can just spray in when you're out and about. I think that's how I survived all of the influenzas and things that were going on around. I use that. You can also use roller bottles. These are really fun. I did get these from Amazon and I love these. I don't know if I sent you the link for that, but these are really cute, which have little crystals in them. So you can do any kind of roller bottle. I've made them with or without crystals, but they're really fun.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Those are so awesome. And I just want to remind everyone, if you want a free lab review to find out what's going on in your body, I'll put the link here below, because I want to make sure that you get the most information available for what is happening in your body. Lona, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. And just so you know, people, for my share is my gift is a free consultation, and with some emotion code releasing, I do a little mini session. So
yes, and it is amazing. Please take advantage of this. I'm telling you, you will be absolutely floored. I will put the link in the show notes. Lona, I'm going to drop you in the green room, hang out and have a mocktail, or, use some of your oils while you're there. I'll see you in a minute. Oh my gosh, was she not amazing? So good. And I just want to remind you, what are you doing to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for yourself today? And until then, be sure to join me for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central. Have a healthy, delicious day. You can learn more about my services and products at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.